What's up, guys? Just going to make a quick video because I found this nice little spec comparison sheet between the Kindle Fire HD 8.9, which is their bigger version, and the iPad 3. Now, in my opinion, these two aren't even really competitors. I mean, it's an 8.9 inch versus what's the iPad, like a 9.7 inch. Well, let's get into it. Well, obviously, first it's Android versus iOS. So, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest decisions right there. Even though I wouldn't call the Kindle Fire HD Android just by looking at it, it's very much a skinned version of Android. So if you like OEM skins, go for it. If you don't, stay well away. So the Kindle Fire has a 1920 by 1200 resolution. This is a very good resolution for a tablet, actually. It's one of the higher ones out there, one of the higher Android tablets in a way. But in comparison to the iPad 3 or the new iPad, in quotation marks, new, it's not going to be anywhere near that resolution. That resolution is ridiculous, 1248 by 1536. I don't see anything beating that resolution for a while. They really stepped up the game with that resolution. You have to give it to them there. But let's have a look. What else have we got? Okay, we can tell the iPad is obviously going to be a bigger dimension. It's a bigger screen. It's obviously going to be a bit heavier. Yes, go away, God. Right, and then we've got the CPU. Now, this is always quite hard because Apple doesn't really tell you much about the A5. It's based on the Apple A5X is actually based on Samsung's Exynos processor, but when they get that chip, they change some stuff in it and they call it their own thing. You're gonna say 1 gigahertz versus a 1.5 dual core. 1.5 dual core would probably win, but no, that's not the case. Apple A5X has probably the best GPU available out on the market. I can't exactly remember the name of it. It's like an MP5 something, which is it's just really good, right? 1.5 dual core processor, the TI OMAP 4470. This was touted as being better than the Tegra 3 processor. Even though it's dual core, it's touted as being better than a quad core processor. I don't know if that's true. We'll have to wait for benchmarks. I'm going to say it's not true, but you never know, right? So, what else have we got here? Storage, it comes in all those available storage kinds, basically the same. No micro SD slot. The iPad obviously has a 5 megapixel camera at the back and a camera at the front. The camera at the back is available to shoot 1080p. Don't know the battery life. This is 10 hours. Yeah, this is one big thing they kept going on about. The Wi-Fi dual band, dual antenna. So it uses, the Kindle Fire uses the 2.4 gigahertz band and the 5 gigahertz band. And I'm guessing, being dual antenna, it will switch between the two according to signal strength. Whereas the iPad will probably just stick to the 2.4 gigahertz. Now, they did a comparison, and the Kindle Fire HD came out at 41% faster Wi-Fi than the new iPad. So, I mean, that's interesting. It's good to have. How much does it really matter? Probably not that much. It's not like the iPad 3 has really slow Wi-Fi or anything. So, who knows? Connectivity seems the same. No NFC capabilities. Pricing. Now, this is where it obviously gets interesting. Obviously, you have to take into account that the iPad has the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera. It has a much better screen, a bigger screen, better resolution. The whole Apple ecosystem. Being bigger, it probably has a bigger battery. It doesn't tell me here, but I'm guessing it would do. But if we look at let's go for a middle model. Let's go for a 32 gig model for the iPad and a 32 gig model for the Kindle Fire HD. I'm guessing these are Wi-Fi and not. So let's go for 3G for both, otherwise it's unfair. So we're looking at 729 for the new iPad 32GB versus 499 3G for the 32GB Kindle Fire. So it's about $200 more, which is a lot. But then you are getting a totally different machine. That's why I said at the beginning, I don't like, they're not really comparable. Like, it's not like you're gonna go and look at the iPad and go, oh no, I'll just get the Kindle Fire because it's the same thing but cheaper. No, it's not. Okay, the Apple is just a better tablet, really. We're gonna have to wait and find out what the actual Kindle Fire HD is like. But against the iPad 3, I don't think there's much competition for the iPad. I think there'll be more competition for the rumoured iPad mini. Now that'll be interesting because I'm guessing that'll be around the 7-inch range, which they have. The Kindle Fire has a model with, for 7 inches that is already competing with the Google Nexus 7. So the real question is, it'll probably be the Kindle Fire versus the iPad mini versus the Google Nexus 7. Now that'll be interesting because it's got the Google ecosystem versus the Amazon ecosystem versus the iOS Apple ecosystem. All have their merits, all have some cons. We'll have to see what happens. So yeah, have a good day.